Okay, so yesterday you saw us do the little tour of your property and all your wood and everything. Today's the day we get to see this thing run. So this is a brute force semi-pro.
Yes.
And you bought it how long ago? A couple months ago?
Back in March.
A couple months ago.
End of March. Yep. We used it a little bit, getting our stuff over at my parents' place, split up here. Did an oil change on it last week for the brake and oil change. So we're gonna put it to its true test today.
Yeah, today we're gonna split a whole bunch of stuff. So we got a trailer full of ash that we brought, and then you got a bunch of cherry and some locust. We don't know how much we're gonna get done today. We're gonna go until we can't. So
yep.
So tell us a little bit about this. Why did you decide to go with the brute force?
So I was looking at the Eastimate Ultra when you were telling me about it.
Because you've used mine.
Yep. I like how fast it is. And then when I was looking at that, it was gonna be $4.5 grand for the splitter, plus over $1,000 for shipping. So I was looking at about $6,000 to $6,500 just to get it here, and it was going to be about after a year out.
Yeah, about a year out. Yeah.
And I'm like, this one, I ordered it in October. It came in ready in March. So we went up there and picked it up. It was price going for it right now was about $8.5, and it's about 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away up north. If I can have any problems or issues, I can drive up there and get parts for it and whatever else I need for it. Being local, I don't have to worry about shipping.
But over the Ultra, this has a log lift.
Yep, and that was one of the main things I was looking for, just for a little bit of a staging area. But dealing with the bigger rounds, instead of having to rip them, I can just lift them up into here,
and
which
then
will be nice.
Your wedge, you can drop it all the way down.
Yep,
so you can
it's
use
on
just the top.
Yep, it's at. There's 4 slots for it. It's on setting 3 right now. I can drop it down where the bottom wedge will sit below the channel here, and I can just use the top.
So all you got to do with that is just pull out
one pin.
One pin on one side, pull the big pin out over here,
and drop it down.
Drops down, that's it.
And then I can use it as a single way.
Yep.
And then if I want to go all the way up with it, I can go all the way up and use it as a 4-way. They do have a 6-way I could have bought for another $600-700 if I want it, but
this will do what you need.
For the time being, I'll just keep the 4-way because I can use it as a single way.
If you got big rounds, you get it up this high, you can block it down into 4, and then you can resplit them down below if you want.
Exactly, and then when it gets to the bigger stuff, I've noticed it's only a 17-ton splitter. It's fast, but we have gotten it stuck a handful of times, and we had to use a chain.
Well, my Ultra's only 17 tons too, or 14, whatever it is. So yeah, and if you're gonna do a 4-way and you got some knotty stuff, it can jam on you. But so, and then this has the what's this stuff called?
That I think it's Teflon. I think it is, or
no, it's like nice something.
Yeah, something like that, where it's not greasable. A wearable part that was supposed to last.
It's a wearable part, and it's supposed to last a long time, and it does. And guys grease it, and it swells, and then it sticks.
And then it sticks. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's
So you're not supposed to grease it.
Don't grease it. Don't oil it at all. Just leave it the way it is.
Right.
And I'm like, all right.
And your cycle time is like 4.5
seconds.
Yeah, which is fast.
Which is fast.
Which is real fast.
I mean, I had last week, and we were splitting some pine, and I was running the splitter, and my dad and my grandma were stacking, and it was. They couldn't even keep up with just me running the machine. It was that quick. It was coming on the ground.
And I see it's got the 14 horse
Kohler Command Pro.
Yep.
It's a nice motor so far. I really like it. Hasn't had any issues.
It is a tank. You know what this thing weighs?
I believe I was told it's close to a ton. I think 1,500 pounds, 1,400 pounds.
That's heavy. Yeah, it's definitely a heavy-duty machine.
Half a ton?
Half ton is 1,000 pounds.
1,000
so
pounds.
you're 3/4 of a ton.
Yeah.
And it's got the nice tray out here. So yeah, it's a very well designed machine.
Yep, and you can get a longer tray. It comes out another 1.5 foot, something like that if I wanted to, because this just bolts in, and I can easily pull this off and get a longer one if I want to. But for right now, I'll just stick with the shorter one. It seems to work pretty good.
And it's got the removable hitch, which we took off, so you can just let the wood fall out. So we're going to split out of the trailer with the log lift. So what we'll do is I'll pull ahead and I'll back right up to where you're standing there.
Yep.
And then we'll have the log lift. We can lift the logs and they can fall right here, because then you're going to stack it right here.
Yep,
so
I'll just stack it all here on this pallet here.
And that's one of the things a lot of people don't think of, is try to not move the wood.
Exactly.
Try to do your work where you're going to put the wood. It saves so much, because a lot of guys are moving their wood back and forth and here and there, and we're going to try to do it in one shot. That's the plan.
Ideally, that's the goal.
So very nice. Let's start this baby up and let her see her scream. Okay, so we just ran the brute force. Now, you've run it before, but this was my first time. And my first impressions is that it's an awesome machine. What I really like is the cradle. When you drop a log in, it stays right there.
Yes, it doesn't fall off.
Whereas with my Ultra, I don't really have much of a cradle. All I got is that little crack between the two beams.
Where the beams are, yeah.
You got to kind of line them up all the time. And this just falls right in place, which I really like.
Yep.
I like how much easier your wedge is to adjust up and down.
Yes.
How you don't have to switch to a single wedge. You just drop it down, it's good to go.
Yep. Exactly.
And what I really like are those big spikes that are on the push.
Oh yeah, those. I mean, they'll bite in and grab. I mean, it's very rare it slips off very often.
We had some pieces that were cut
a little angled,
and they didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
They just bite right in. So that really is nice. So whereas on my push plate, they tend to kind of pop out. I got those little buttons, but you got actual spikes.
Spikes, yep.
I like that. That is really nice. Speed-wise, is very similar to the Ultra.
Yeah.
I would say maybe not quite as fast going in. But going back it's real
quick.
Yeah, I like that a lot. The log lift is very touchy, we found out.
Yes.
You can actually throw logs in the air, so you got to adjust your valve there.
Yeah.
And you got to kind of just feather off on the lever so you get it to come up slow. And
it's got so much pressure. I mean, I've thrown thankfully I was on this side and I've launched an oak log on the other side of the splitter and had to roll it back around to get it back up. But I mean.
Yeah. And I didn't realize he was over here showing me your leg there.
Not too bad.
This is from the edge of this. It lifted up and got him right in the leg because he was standing here. I didn't realize how close he was. But yeah, engine runs real great. Plenty of power for the engine.
Oh yeah.
I like how you can just let the wood fall right off. So the only thing, and this is just me because I'm old and frail and I'm a decrepit bag of rotting oatmeal. My right shoulder's sore.
Yeah.
And I'm on that side running the lever. You got to hold your arm up kind of high to run the lever.
Yeah, the levers are a little high up.
So you got to have your arm up in the air, it feels like, when you're running a lever. So you're constantly fighting the shoulder, which you can trade sides, I suppose.
Yeah, I really like the fact you can wear on either side of the machine, which is really nice, where it's universal on that side. So.
Yeah, so we're going to get something to eat. When we come back, we're going to finish the rest of this. So let's go eat.
Yes, we should.
So we just got done split. We split for about an hour and a half, and we split the whole trailer load full that we had. And this was elm, and some of it was very
ash.
That's what I said, ash. There was some very dry, knotty, crotchy, nasty ash. You can see here, we lifted some of these up just to show you guys. Some of these were shearing off whole limbs.
Yep.
And the splitter did it. As long as we used the single wedge. Now, a couple times there, we had the wings up, and we were trying to go 4-way. We thought we were going to be smart and be able to push it through, and it didn't want to go.
No, there was one where I was surprised where it looked like a nice round with no branches, and we split it in half. I wonder why I got stuck. There was a limb grew around the whole thing, so you didn't even see it.
Yeah. So yeah, we were cutting right through. Here's another one. We cut right through the whole limb. Here's another nasty one. We cut right through a whole limb. So it goes through really good with the single wedge, but the 4-way, we did get it stuck, what, 3 times? I think we had to use the chain to pull it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used the chain trick where you just put it around the push plate and just pull it back. You got to be careful you don't damage your cylinder or your rod or anything. But to pull it off really good. But yeah, this thing is nice. Now, advantages: the cradle holds your small pieces, anything from like 4 inches all the way up to probably like what, about a foot. You just throw it in, go, throw it in, go, throw it in, go.
Yep.
So if you got like ideal wood, like 8-inch stuff, you wouldn't need to do a thing. Just ram it,
and it's quick.
And what I like about this is, like mine, I have with the Easton Made Ultra, I have to kind of aim the pieces because there's really no cradle. But then the other drawback we found is when you got a really big piece and you want to kind of aim it by rocking your round left or right to get it off center a little bit, so you're not dead center on a big knot. It's a little harder.
Oh yeah,
because you're fighting the cradle a little bit, so it's give and take.
Yep.
The log lift is awesome. We did turn it down. There's a valve over to here.
Yep, we turned it down a little bit.
We turned it down because there was a couple times it flies up pretty fast. You got to be careful with it, but you got to just basically feather it off. And I would imagine most of them are like that. I like the fast changing wedge is really nice.
Yeah, it's very simple. You can lift it up with one hand and be able to move it up and down pretty easily, which is a great plus. And takes maybe not even a minute to adjust it.
It's faster than mine and my Ultra because I have to crawl underneath, and this is a little faster. I like the narrower gauge metal here too. It seems to cut better than mine. Mine's thicker.
Oh, is it?
So I think mine starts to open up more maybe, but this seems to cut better. I know the Wolf Ridge also seems to be.
Oh, this one is real narrow, and then it gets wider. It gets the wider flare around.
There's a flare in the back, which is
helps.
Different, which it helps. Yeah, it's kind of nice. And I know the Wolf Ridges have real narrow, not narrow, but narrower than this. And the Easton Made, they're a finer,
thicker metal.
Thinner metal. So, but they all work really good.
Yeah.
The controls are really nice. Like I said, the only thing is you kind of hold your shoulder up for a while, so it's nice to switch sides once in a while, which is good anyway. These spikes are really awesome. If you guys can see these spikes in here for holding the wood, but I found out the hard way, you don't want to ram your elbow when you're yanking on a piece of wood. So I hit my elbow right on the joint here. I don't know if I'll be able to do more than 100 push-ups or so at a time. If I have to cut it down to about 90, it hurts. Maybe not quite that many, but so yeah, it works really good. The nice thing also about this is it's not so big that you can't muscle it around a little bit.
Yeah, you can.
Even one of us, we could push it out a little bit away from the pile.
Yep.
Whereas if you get a bigger splitter, you pretty much have to use an ATV or tractor or truck or something to move it. Whereas this, you can move around a little bit. You can turn it left or right.
You can swing it a little bit when you need to. And
which is a huge benefit. A lot of people don't realize it, but. I've ran a lot of splitters over the years. You know, I've run a lot of big ones, a lot of small ones, and my favorite two are my Ultra because I'm used to it. But I've ran a lot of them, probably dozens of splitters. My Ultra, and I'd say this one is right there with it.
Yeah, it's a nice splitter, and the fact that I can just hook it up and tow it down the road. I towed it down here, 35 minutes, 40 minutes down the road. Going 50, 55, you know.
Did just fine, didn't it?
Did just fine. Got slowed down over the railroad tracks because they're pretty rough. But other than that, you know, it drove, and you could see the log lift up in the air, and you can see the handles out of the back of the rearview mirror. So you know it's there.
Yeah, it's very nice. I like it a lot. 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
So that's it for today, folks. Tomorrow, what are we gonna do?
Do more.
We're going to split cherry tomorrow. So come on back tomorrow. We're going to use this baby again. We're going to split a bunch of cherry tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll see you tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. Come on back.
Good night, Irene.